What's going on, guys? This is Johnny Cash from CappersIsland.com with our first video telecast of the season. Right now, we've had a pretty decent week in college football, plus 11 units, and we were fortunate enough to hit our 5-unit plays with Pitt and Georgia Tech last night. Let's hop right into today's card. We have 4 games that we're going to talk about. First one, Washington Redskins plus 4.5. Right now, we're seeing 81% of the public bets on the Buffalo Bills with very little line movement at all. Right, I think that the Redskins are going to be able to put together a solid performance against a spotty Buffalo Bills team. I think Ryan Terrain and Roy Halou are going to be able to both put up decent numbers today. And I also look for John Beck to come into his own against the Buffalo Bills defense that has only had 4 sacks all year. I think the Redskins' keys to success in this game are opening up the running game early, getting the young guys involved, which will in fact open up the play action and short passing game. Fred Davis must have a huge game today in order for the Redskins to win, which I think he will. Defensively, I look for the Redskins to be in the Buffalo Bills backfield all day against a very inconsistent Buffalo Bills offensive line. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be under duress constantly, and I think that the Skins will be able to limit Jackson's big runs. I like the Redskins team. I know they've been very inconsistent this year, but I look for them to get the job done against a Bills team that I am not quite sold on yet. Next play on the card is the Minnesota Vikings plus 3.5. Right now we have 63% of the public on Carolina, and we've seen about a half of a point reverse line movement. Pretty interesting game as we have rookie phenom Cam Newton going up against Christian Ponder in his second career start. I really like what I saw from Ponder last week. His ability to extend plays with his legs and move the pocket is going to be extremely beneficial for this Vikings offense and Adrian Peterson. You know, teams just aren't going to be able to stack the box anymore. You had Donovan McNabb sitting back there like a statue. Right now we have a young guy that's going to be able to get out of the pocket, move the pocket, extend plays, which I think in turn will help Adrian Peterson out in the running game. I really like Christian Ponder to get his first career win today, and facing a Panthers team that is 29th against the run and giving up over 130 yards per game on the ground. I think he'll have his teammate Adrian Peterson to thank for his first career win after the game. Next game on our card is the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 2.5. Right now we have 74% of the public bets on the New England Patriots, again with little or no line movement. This is not your Steeler team of old. You know, we're all used to the Steeler teams under Bill Cowher, etc., that ran the ball, grinded the clock out. Not anymore. They have a very great group of young receivers, and they are looking to get the ball to them. Wallace, Sanders, Brown, I expect for them all to have big games today. I look for Big Ben to put up close to 400 yards through the air today. Really, I think that the Steelers are going to be able to win this game and win it handily. Pittsburgh's won its last 3 games, and I really feel like they're starting to shake the cobwebs off after an offseason that's negatively impacted the majority of elite NFL defenses. Right now, the Steelers are only giving up 226 yards per game and 10 points per game at home, while we have the Patriots that are giving up 26 points per game, 480 yards per game on the road. So I like the Steelers to come out, with a double-digit win today. Let's say maybe something along the lines of 27-17. My 3-unit pick is on the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 2.5. And lastly, my 5-unit Nature Boy Ric Flair play of the day is the Philadelphia Eagles minus 3. As I mentioned earlier, we're 2-0 with 5-unit plays this week, cashing in on Pitt midweek and Georgia Tech last night. Right now, 60% of the public is on the Cowboys, and again, we're seeing very little to no line movement. Understandably, this so-called dream team has been anything but this year. However, I really look for them to get things going tonight with a strong sense of urgency against a Dallas Cowboys team, which in my opinion is struggling to find an identity. I know a lot of people are under the school of thought that maybe Tony Romo is not the answer for this team. I am one of those people. Tonight's going to be a big game for both teams, and I think the Eagles are going to be able to win this game handily. I'm not a really big guy when it comes to trends. I think most of you know that, but it is noteworthy to mention that the Eagles are 12-0 after a bye week under Andy Reid, which I think is a huge testament to his coaching ability, in my opinion. Everyone's jumping all over DeMarco Murray after his huge performance last week. I just don't think it carries over to this week. So again, my 5-unit Nature Boy Ric Flair play of the day is on the Philadelphia Eagles -3. To do a quick recap, we have 3 units on the Washington Redskins +4.5, 3 units on the Minnesota Vikings +3.5, 3 units on the Pittsburgh Steelers +2.5, and 5 units on the Philadelphia Eagles -3. Before I head out, I want to give props to Cappers Island member Fear the Raven on an impressive 7-0 outing yesterday. Great job, man. Thanks, guys, and make sure to stop by Cappers Island for everything sports handicapping relating. Again, this is Johnny Cash. Thanks for tuning in.